Hello, Assalamu alaikum everybody. Hope you're all safe, sound, and healthy. And we start off with the Greek tragedy as the developments come forward and we get more updates. It seems that our suspicions, especially my suspicion, that the fact that it happens almost every single time the boat approaches Greek waters, it capsizes or something happens or there's an engine failure. And if you remember, even last time the Greek Coast Guard was actively involved in the massacre or drowning and killing of immigrants that approached by a ship. And this time again it is said that the Coast Guard was involved in this whole scenario of making sure that people do not come to shore, even though the ship was, or the boat you can say, was there for quite some time because of engine failure. And water had also become scarce. In fact, there was another ship passing by that gave them water, and then there were helicopters up in the air hovering around when they found out that people were beginning to drown. And obviously we cannot forget the fact that the crew of the ship or the boat, whatever you like to call it, was actively involved in deliberately putting Pakistanis in danger, not letting them up the upper deck and forcing them down the lower deck and keeping them there. This is something that needs to be questioned, it needs to be interrogated, but our government is so busy trying to secure their seats, that they're clashing they're so busy clashing with each other and trying to put all the blame on Imran Khan. In fact, it's a miracle they haven't blamed Imran Khan for the shipwreck. They have blamed him for every single failure of theirs. I think they've even tried to blame him for the cyclone that just came. They've blamed him for the earthquakes as well. They've blamed him for COVID too. He's responsible for that too. So I'm sure they're going to blame him for the shipwreck. Believe me, it's going to happen. Don't you worry about that. So Imran Khan is, God. He's actually God. So he has such human powers. He's an alien from another planet. He's Mr. India. He's all those things and more. And that he's Superman. Yeah. So that's why anything and everything that happens, you need to know Imran Khan's behind it. Seriously, how ridiculous. And the government actually, instead of doing anything about the shipwreck, instead of doing anything about the Pakistanis that died, the Pakistanis that need to be brought back, the bodies, the ones who survived, to be able to help them, nothing. The government has done nothing except again blame Imran Khan for that. Seriously. And all Khwaja Asif is doing is the dog that he is. He's just barking, yap, 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 and that is it. That's all he does, really. And the TV ratings are at an all low. These news channels, especially, they thought that they would, maintain themselves through US dollars and through the money sent to them in the form of sponsorship by this illegal government. But they cannot. The ratings are at such an all low because the public has refused to now watch the TV. People are now turning towards alternate media like social media and other news. People are not turning on their TV sets anymore. So you can imagine the downfall of mainstream media, which is going to be very soon. So this is just the beginning of all the many little developments which are actually huge taking place. For example, right now the hearing is taking place at the court regarding the law that the government tried to illegally change. They tried to create a sort of a reform where Nawaz Sharif could get some relief and where he should be able to come back. And right now the court is being heard the case is being heard in the court. At the same time, the petition the petition that was filed against military act, against martial courts, against Shahbaz Sharif, Rana Sanaullah, and Khwaja Asif's involvement in the firing at Latif Kosa's place, and other lawyers that were fired at. So that is also taking place. At the same time, Imran Khan is busy with his own hearing and bail. So we'll be back with more. Before I move on to the other developments, just one last point that needs to be noted. Despite the fact that our own government is not lifting even a finger with regards to the shipwreck, the tragedy at Greek waters, the UNO has taken its sweet time, but finally woken up and decided to begin an investigation or interrogation. And the Secretary General of the United Nations has noted that this is something that is very suspicious. This is something that needs an investigation, and that the Greek government as well as the Coast Guard, they need to be investigated and they need to provide explanations. So well, again, as I said, the UN took its sweet time because it's happened so many times. Seriously, I mean, I've been hearing about these incidents for as long as I can remember, and it's a miracle that nobody sat up and took notice of it before. I guess it's because people never cared, because life isn't sacred anymore, my friends. People who drown, people who die in accidents, people who, are aliens moving from one end to the other illegally, they just don't matter, isn't it? They're not human beings, they're not equal, so their lives don't matter. You know what makes things even worse? Apart from the constitutional reform that they're illegally trying to make, in which they want that there should be no accountability for corruption or embezzlement, and there should be no disqualification of a politician, so that Nawaz Sharif should come and again illegally become a prime minister for the fourth time. Because according to our constitution, you cannot become a prime minister for more than, I think it's maximum two. I don't know if they managed to change it to three, but normally it's only twice. You can only become prime minister twice, and after that you cannot be elected. You cannot even, you're not qualified to return for a third tenure. And yet Nawaz Sharif wants to come for a fourth time. And then we need to note that, as always, because now they're ready, they think that they have finally managed to minus Imran Khan to a large extent, which they haven't actually. And now they're thinking, okay, let's just start the elections because we don't have a choice, because now even the establishment is moving back, and the establishment is now realizing its mistake in the war that it has waged against the people of Pakistan. It has realized that it is at the losing end. And so the establishment is like, okay, we cannot delay the elections for any longer. So everybody's now trying to get ready for the elections with or without Imran Khan. And in that, as always, the dogfight begins. The people who are together in PDM, now suddenly they are fighting like dogs, blaming each other, and then blaming Imran Khan, collectively blaming Imran Khan for every single thing that went wrong, and then blaming each other for every single thing that's gone wrong. Okay? It's the same old BS. Really, it's the same old BS. They don't know how to do politics in any other way. That is the only. They've learned a few tricks from Imran Khan, and they try to mimic him with their rallies and their jalsas, but they can never ever reach that level. They're just not there. And the tragedy of the shipwreck, that took place, I mean, where the Greek populace is actually protesting against its government's incompetence and its government's suspicious act, by letting immigrants drown in their waters every year. On the other side, United Nations has finally woken up, and yet our government is, what are the two things that they've done? On one side, Shahbaz Sharif says, we are pleased to announce that we will, that to announce this as a day of mourning. Like, seriously? You are pleased to announce a day of mourning for the dead Pakistanis? Where's the pleasure? What's so pleasing about it? And on the other side, Maryam Aurangzeb is making she's doing this press conference where she's announcing that we will no longer take tax from cinemas for the next 10 years. Why? I thought Khwaja Asif was talking about how the elites are being protected. Again, it's your government that's protecting the elites. Why are you not taking taxes from the cinemas? Why are you taking taxes from us? We're not even earning a fraction of what the cinemas are. Why are you not taking taxes from them? And what does that have to do with the people dying out there because of joblessness and because of despair, that they're forced to leave the country through legal and illegal means? As I've said, this has been the largest brain drain that we have had in history. 900,000 people have legally left the country in just this short span of time, within these few months. And this is legally. Illegally, you can imagine how many hundred thousands of people have moved or are moving and will continue to move. uh, I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. I don't see the pleasure in announcing mourning, a date of mourning for the dead, and I don't see what cutting taxes off of cinemas have to do with these homeless, jobless people who are leaving the country illegally just to make their lives bearable. Before blaming Imran Khan for everything, let's just try to take a small example of how he needs to be blamed, okay? According to the government, everything that went wrong is because of Imran Khan. So let's see how things went wrong. There is a bypass that was supposed to be constructed in Dera Ismail Khan side, southern Punjab. And under the previous government, under Imran Khan's government, its total budget estimate was about 60 million, okay, 60 million rupees. And suddenly this government has decided that they should revise the project. And under the name of revised project, what have they decided? They've decided that no, it's not going to be made in 60 million. It's going to be made in 3,066,000,000 rupees. Yeah. Just look at the difference here. 60 million and then 3 billion, you know, that same bypass. This is what this government has been doing. They don't have money. Where are they getting all this money from? They have just decided that that cinemas should be tax free. The taxes that they are taking is from us, who actually, by law, most of us are not even eligible for taxes. If you compare the amount of salaries that we're getting, and if you look at it at the tax index, many of us, especially freelancers, we're not even supposed to be paying taxes, but somehow or the other they manage to grab hold of our money. But cinemas have to be tax free, right? Elite businesses have to be given relief. But those of us who don't have anything in hand, everything needs to be taken away from us. Where are they getting that money from? And the question is, how much is actually going to be used? Because this government is known for using, absolutely low quality materials, low quality building materials, low quality construction materials, so that the stuff that they make does not last long. It doesn't last more than a year or two. And then again, in the name of reconstruction and improvement of infrastructure, they create these huge estimates. They cook the books, and again we are right where we started before, with a higher budget. So yeah, let's blame Imran Khan, please, let's. And who revised this project, one might ask? Maulana Fazl-ul-Rehman's son. Though what status he has to do that, I don't know. So this is it for now. Again, the next day I'll come up with more updates. I know that I'm actually usually recording the podcast in the middle of the night or in the wee hours of the morning, and then it takes me a few hours to actually post it or upload it on my channel. So it may seem as if I'm like slightly hours behind or hours ahead accordingly. But you could obviously, I post on my podcast channel first, and then after half a day or so, whenever the video is ready, then I post it on YouTube. So in order to get the latest updates, do subscribe to my podcast channel, so that you can, or I should just say podcast. It looks so weird saying podcast channel. So do subscribe to my podcast, so that you can be up to date with everything on time. So this is me signing out. Take care, everybody. Khuda Hafiz.